I'm Ted Wiggett, and this is Culinary Corner at WYE, the network. Tonight we're going to be talking about a few things that might seem a little scary to you in your kitchen. I know they seem a little scary to me in my kitchen. Scary might not be the right word. Maybe intimidating is a better word. We're going to be talking about shrimp, we're going to be talking about saffron, and we're going to be talking about fusilli. The last one, the fusilli, may not seem very overwhelming, very intimidating. It is, after all, pasta, and it works pretty much how pasta works. But the first two, the shrimp and the saffron, they can be a little intimidating, especially if you've never cooked with shrimp or saffron before. It can almost be overwhelming. Luckily, we have our very own Chef John here tonight to show us how to use both shrimp and saffron properly in a dish that we like to call shrimp and mushroom fusilli with saffron cream sauce. So let's go see how to do that.
Tonight we're going to be cooking a shrimp and mushroom fusilli with saffron cream sauce. This is a recipe of my own because I love shrimp, I love mushrooms, love saffron, and given from where I was raised for 15 years, pasta is an understatement. So I decided just to make this recipe up one night. There's no real story behind it except for me concocting a dish just one night that I was bored. But I loved it, I tell you. So tonight I'm going to share this recipe with you. So let me wash my hands and let me show you the ingredients. Okay, so to make this dish, what we want are 1 teaspoon of saffron strands, or in this case, I have a bag of powdered saffron. I have still more of these bags. My mom sent them to me from Italy. Each one of these bags are like 0.1 grams. If you can't find these, go ahead and use the regular saffron strands. I have 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, 3 tablespoons of minced parsley, 1/4 cup of diced shallot, 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, 1/2 cup of diced bacon, or you can also use Italian pancetta, and I would recommend you use that if you can find some. 1/2 pound of shelled deveined shrimp. I have 1 cup right here of sliced mushrooms. Now tonight I'm using shiitake mushrooms. It all depends on you what type of mushroom you want to use. You could use a button mushroom, a morel mushroom, an oyster mushroom. I would recommend you try with different mushrooms this recipe and then decide on you which one you like best. Try a mixture of mushroom too, why not? I have right here 5 ounces of fusilli pasta. This should be enough for 2. I have 1 cup of heavy cream, 1/2 cup of white wine, a dry white wine here. Any type of white wine you like to drink is perfect. I'm using a Pinot Grigio tonight. Salt and pepper to taste, and extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to be using like 2 tablespoons of this. Excuse me why with my accent getting caught up with stuff all the time. However, let's move to the stove. Let's start cooking this up. Alright, so we're going to start cooking our fusilli here. And I have this pot right here warming up on high heat. This has water in it. We're going to use this to cook our pasta in. On this side of the stove, I have this smaller pot, and we're going to use this to start our saffron sauce. So while that pot is going up to a boil, we're going to turn the heat up on this on medium high. We're going to add in here our heavy cream, together with our saffron strands, and like in this case what I have here, powdered saffron. I tell you, there's some stores around here that you have to really look for saffron strands. You have to get to some health stores or some particular stores, etc., etc., or buy some online. In Italy or any part of Europe, it's very easy to find saffron strands or powdered saffron like this. I tell you, there was one little place that I loved. I don't remember if it's all around Italy, but this one place in particular in Cremona called Can de Stefani had nice cured meats. I tell you, prosciutto, speck, capicollo, coppa, everything you want. And you can find also, hanging on the wall, all these packages of this powdered saffron. So they're very cheap also. Difference than over here, saffron is considered the most expensive spice in the world, if you know what I mean. So, you can imagine finding cheap saffron, to me, is a blessing. So I thank my mom for sending me these packages. However, just something I felt like sharing. What you want to do right now, you just want to whisk this saffron and this heavy cream together. We're going to bring this up to a boil, then we're going to drop it to a simmer, and we're going to wait for our pasta water to start boiling.
Hi, it's Ted Wigga, back here behind all this nakedwines.com wine that just arrived, just in time for our very first wine party of one. So, as you know, we are so excited that WYE the network has partnered with nakedwines.com, and they have generously provided a special offer to you, all the WYE the network viewers. What you need to do is go to our website, which is www.wyenterprises.com, which should be appearing on your screen down there right about now. And you're going to need the following. You're going to need a voucher code, which is WYE1013, and a voucher password, which is, in our case, cooking, all lowercase. Cooking, like what we do on Culinary Corner at WYE the network. You know that show. So, go to our website, www.wyenterprises.com, and get all the details on how you can go over to nakedwines.com and take advantage of this very special offer. We'll see you next time on WYE the network. Bye!
Okay, so my water has come up to a boil. What I want to do next, I want to add some salt in here. I'm going to add enough salt to make this water as salty as seawater. That's the secret of making some good Italian pasta. However, it's all up to your preference. Use as much salt as you want. Next thing, oops. I'm going to add some, I'm going to add some olive oil in here, some extra virgin olive oil. Then, I'm going to add my fusilli. Alright, we're going to let this cook 8 to 9 minutes, and then we're going to start testing them, taste testing them. What we want is for the pasta to be al dente, soft on the outside with a little bit of resistance in the middle. You can cook it up to your own preference depending on how you like your pasta. However, start tasting it at 8 minutes. Your pasta should be ready in 8 to 10 minutes max depending on the type of pasta you buy. Check out cooking instructions on your package. Alright, so we're going to start cooking the rest of our sauce here while this is cooking. So let's move over here. Alright, so what we want to do now to start creating our sauce, like I said, we started it earlier with the heavy cream and the saffron in this one pot that I placed over here on a simmer because I needed this part of the stove now. What we want to do, I have this pan warming up on medium-high heat. I want to add in here 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Alright, what we want to add in next, I want to add this diced bacon or pancetta. Wait for this pan to come up nice and hot. We're going to get this bacon or pancetta, like I said, depending on what you used, nice and crispy. Alright, so we got our bacon nice and crispy here. What we want to do next is just pull it out of this pan and place it in a separate container and set it aside. Now, you can decide to drain off this fat if you do not like the bacon grease in your dish. I'm going to leave it in there because I just love the flavor. However, if you decide not to have all this fat that I'm leaving in here just because I like it, what you could do is just fry up your bacon like I'm doing right here, empty out the fat, and clean your pan. And then just add 2 tablespoons of olive oil again while sauteing your vegetables and everything else that we're going to do in the next steps. So now what I want to do, I want to add shallot, garlic. I'm going to saute this for like a few seconds just to give this oil flavor. Alright, next thing, I'm going to add in here our mushrooms. Saute these, evaporate the water content from inside the mushrooms and let them sweat down. Alright, so my mushrooms have sweat down nicely. What I want to do next, I want to add this shrimp in here. And I just want to cook this shrimp for 30 seconds to a minute just to get it nice and pink. I do not want to cook it all the way. I'm going to do this in stages because I don't want to overcook my shrimp. I want my shrimp to be completely cooked perfectly when I add in the saffron stock right there, or the saffron sauce, however you want to call it. So, let me do that. Alright, so I just gave my shrimp in here a nice pink color. What I want to do next, I want to add in here this white wine. What I want to do, I want to let this white wine reduce at least by half. Burn off that alcohol. Alright, so I moved myself with the pan on this side of the stove because I needed the high-powered gas burner. I just prefer to cook on that. The pot with the pasta, we already strained it out, it's ready. And our sauce right here, the wine, has almost reduced to the point that I want it. There we go. Just leaving there some of it. Like I said, let it reduce by half. What we want to do next, we just want to grab this heavy cream mixed with saffron, give it another mix up here, another whisk up, and just pour it in here. Alright. What to do now, you just want to stir this just like that and reduce this heavy cream by half. Okay, so my sauce is reduced by half. I just lowered a little bit the heat while I was reducing it because if you have the heat too high, heavy cream tends to overboil on you, excusez-moi, and you're going to end up with a mess all over the stove. Especially if you're not using a high-rimmed pan like I'm using it right here. So, what we want to do next, we just want to drop in here the bacon that we cooked earlier, together with Parmesan cheese. What we want to do, we just want to mix this up and get this to a nice creamy consistency. Alright, while this is, excuse me, I had to go get this. While this is thickening up, we're just going to add some black pepper in here. As much as you like. I like a lot of black pepper on mine, so I'm just going to add in there as much as I like. Let's give it another mix. Alright, it's up to almost the consistency that we want it. Last step we want to take is just drop in here our parsley. Mix this up all nice. Alright, let me just give it a taste here. See what we're doing. That's delicious. If you want to add more salt at this point, it's all up to you. The Parmesan cheese, the amount that I put in there, plus the saltiness of the bacon is sufficient for me. So, we're at the consistency that we want. What we want to do, we're going to shut down the heat. And then, we're going to grab the pasta that I strained and I reserved in the strainer and just dump it in here. Mix everything together. And that's it. I think you pretty much got it from this point. We're going to plate this up and we're going to show you the finished product. Okay, so we finished our dish and we plated it up. Here we have our shrimp and mushroom fusilli with saffron cream sauce, a dish that I just invented one night when I felt creative. However, I strongly encourage you to try this dish with your family and friends. This is all the time we have for tonight. Till next time, enjoy.
Thank you, Chef John, for once again showing us how easy it is to work with ingredients that can sometimes feel overwhelming or intimidating to us. A couple of things you want to keep in mind with tonight's recipe. The shrimp can be bought fresh or frozen, whatever is more convenient for you to find in your local neighborhood. If you do buy it fresh, you can find it at a local fishmonger, or you can find it at the seafood department of your local grocery store. And when you're there, you can find it one of two ways. You can find fresh shrimp whole, which means that it has not been peeled and deveined, or you can find it peeled and deveined. Whichever way you purchase it, it really doesn't matter. What's important is that once you get it home, it's easy for you to work with. The second thing is the saffron. You can use powdered saffron, you can use packets of saffron, or you can use strands of saffron. The key to working with saffron is to make sure you use the exact amount that the recipe calls for. And what that will do is make sure that that flavor profile is really spot on. Too much saffron can overwhelm the dish and completely ruin it. Too little will just not add enough flavor. So be sure when you're working with saffron that you use the exact amount for whatever recipe you're using calls for. So that's it for us tonight. We thank you for joining us. We are grateful for the time you have spent with us. If you would like to have a copy of tonight's recipe, if you would like to suggest a recipe, or if you would like to be a guest on a future episode of Culinary Corner at WYE the Network, please send an email to wyenethenetwork@wyenterprises.com. You should find that on your screen right now, so you probably want to write that down. Thank you once again. We will see you next time when we meet you on the corner, the Culinary Corner, right here on WYE the Network. Bye. Hi, I'm Ted Wiggett, and this is Culinary Corner at WYE the Network. And tonight, we're going to talk about a couple of different okay. A couple of things that we'll be discussing are shrimp and saffron and fusilli. Okay. Hi, I'm Ted Wiggett, and this is Culinary Corner at WYE the Network. And tonight we're going to talk about